Hi friends, welcome to my channel ABC Code. Hope we are doing well. Today we'll be discussing about how we can execute an Ansible pipeline through Jenkins. So at the same time, we'll be uh, make sure that nothing will be hard coded into our Jenkins. So all this thing will be in our GitHub repository. From Jenkins, we'll clone all this thing and we'll be executing there. So that is our plan. So for that, you have a minimum amount of knowledge on Jenkins. You have a minimum amount of knowledge on Ansible and GitHub. Doesn't require a huge amount of knowledge, but a minimum knowledge will be enough for that. Now, why actually as an automation tester, why we need these type of activities, right? Why we need this Ansible? What is the role of this Ansible here? Because as a Python or test automation, we generally used to use this Selenium and PyTest framework or any BDD framework, all these things. So here the role of this Ansible is sometime what happens as a part of share setup and tear down method, we need to execute we need to make some modifications into our property file of our host machines, a gateway. We have multiple servers through which we need to send some traffics. So when we are sending the traffics at the time, we need to configure all these servers as I want, right? As our expected configurations. That expected configurations, how can you configure these expected configurations using Python? So for that, we need to go for this Paramico, and then we have to pull that file into a local. We have to create an object inside that. We have to update that file. Then we have to push that, right? So that is comparatively complex tasks. That complex tasks can be made easy using this Ansible. So this Ansible, if you learn Ansible, does not require huge amount of Ansible knowledge is needed for an automation tester. But if you know a minimum amount of Ansible knowledge, that will be very helpful on this type of activities. Because when this type of tasks come to an automation tester and he has to manage through everything into Python or any programming language, that's become very complex, complicated. I cannot visualize how can I manage this thing, right? Multiple servers, multiple gateways, all these things. How can you manage it? So that's why this Ansible is very useful, and I hope you will be using, and I hope this session will be very helpful for that type of activities. Okay. So, and the system requirement is you should have one Jenkins master up and running. You should have one machine where Ansible is installed. This is my session where Ansible is installed. And another one is Ansible remote machine. Here, because the advantage of Ansible script is the advantage of Ansible scripting is that it can work with any remote machine without having an agent, without having a service installed into the remote machine. Just it has an SSH connectivity and you can do anything with that on that machine from the Ansible master machine, right? So to leverage that advantage, what I have configured, I have created one remote machine. What in our plan, what I'll be doing, I mean, Jenkins master requests its agent to execute the Ansible pipeline, right? So for that, you can understand that the agent which has been asked by Jenkins master to execute the Ansible pipeline, that should be capable of executing the Ansible pipeline. So we have one machine where Ansible client is installed. So what I'll be doing, I'll be configuring this machine as our as an agent of my Jenkins, right? So inside the manage Jenkins, you can go to nodes and you can configure the machine. This is this local system that I have already configured as an agent of Jenkins. Okay. So I hope you know that. So now we'll be creating our repository. Okay. So I have one blank file. So let's start a VS Code here. So here we'll be having one Jenkins file. So I have this Jenkins file. And the best way to have a Jenkins pipeline sample script is just to create one. So let me have run Ansible script, run Ansible Playbook. This is my pipeline. And if we go there, here you can see one hello world, this thing. So you can just copy this, and then we'll be pasting it at here. Okay, let's create this repository as a Git repository and push it into the GitHub first. Then we'll be using that, using this Jenkins file to execute a sample run first. Then we'll be introducing our Ansible scripting, right? We can start with comment.sim initial. Okay. So we have to link this local repository with a remote repository. So what I'll be doing, I'll be new repository. So let's say I'm giving Ansible pipeline. Okay. So that means it's a combinations of Ansible playbook and Jenkins pipeline. So that way, okay. Here I'm running Ansible playbook through Jenkins pipeline. So I'm keeping it as public. If you keep this private, then to run this, then it will require and the Jenkins require way credentials to clone this thing, right? So I'm not going to that much complexity. Okay, so this is talking about this much. We have done this much. Okay, commit I have done. Git master. So we have to make a master branch here. I have to execute this many commands here. So all are done. Then I'm pushing. So it get pushed. Well, let's see. And my UI. Okay. If I refresh that, see we have this Jenkins file and this repository has been created. So what I'll be doing, I'll be just taking the HTTP URL and come to our Jenkins. And here in this pipeline script, what I'll be saying, I'll be talking that you take it from SCM. And this is the Git and this is the repository URL. Okay. Okay. Credential is not needed because I have kept it as uh, public. Okay, Git repository is public and it is the branch is master. Okay, and the file name I have created there, file name is Jenkins file. Okay, that is capital J is there. So I think that don't be creating any problem still. If there is any type or anything, let me copy that on paste it here. So Jenkins file, then save. So my playbook is ready. So what it will do, it will download or it will clone the code from my GitHub and it will execute that. Let's build it. So it has successfully executed. So my this much thing is done. Whatever is written, there should be some statement like hello world, I know. But a second, skipping changing hello world. Okay. Finished success. So now our task is to incorporate our Ansible script inside the Jenkins. So now we'll be adding two more files into the repository. One is called that is playbook file, Ansible playbook file, Ansible play.yml, and inside that I'm keeping one sample play, okay, sample Ansible playbook script. Here, this is the name of the play. Inside a playbook, you know that inside the playbook there may be multiple plays. Here, this is one play that is name is sample play, and it will be running on these hosts. Okay, this is the remote host. I will be giving the details of the remote hosts inside an inventory file. So we'll be adding on inventory file again, and this is talking about become true means that Ansible will be working as an administrator into the host. Then here is the task, and the next property is task for a particular play. These are the main properties, and inside a particular inside task we may have multiple tasks. Okay, here the first task is just a printing something. It's a debug information. Okay, and the next task we are copying a file that's from local. That is the file local file name, and I'm sending it to the destination at this folder. Inside this folder we'll be sending this file. So this is our target, that inside this folder of this host machine, right? So here we are creating another file, inventory.ini file, and there we will add the inventory details. That is the details of the host I have mentioned in the Ansible playbook. This is the host, and for this host, what are the IP address, what are the connection protocol, user ID, and password. All this thing. This is sample password. I have different password there. So note this. So this is the thing. So oh, okay. So we have done everything. Sure. Here, one more thing we need to add one more file, that is from local. This file actually it will be taking from local and sending into the remote file. This is from local system. Now let me explain what does it mean by local. Now try to understand this Ansible file. This Ansible playbook will be executed at our local agent, right? Local system. What is this local system? This is the Jenkins agent. With Jenkins agent, the Jenkins agent that we have configured that time. This is our Jenkins agent, right? And this Jenkins agent is actually which one? The machine where I have Ansible installed. Okay, so we are going to execute our Ansible playbook. So it is very obvious that the Jenkins agent, which will be actually executing this playbook, there Ansible should be installed. So that is my local system where the Ansible playbook will be executed. And what is one is a remote system? A remote system is my this AWS system. How we can let me execute this playbook in my local system. Let's see if it is working fine or not. Then we'll be executing through Jenkins, right? So we have all this thing. So let's run this from here. Ansible playbook, that side, inventory, and info, run. File is able to come at here. So it is talking about there is a failure unreachable connection timeout unreachable true. It's talking that it is unreachable. Okay, it is having different IP address. Are we going that SSH is standard EC2 user at the rate this IP address. Okay, so there if I give the user ID and password, that is so here I'm there. Location, let's see the what is the content of it. So this is the location you can see here, home user, home EC2 user, and here I have moved using the playbook. I'm going to move this from local file inside this folder. Now as of now, inside this folder there is nothing. Okay, so I'm coming back to my EC2 agent, sorry, Ansible client, Ansible master, you can say Ansible master or Jenkins client. It's a Jenkins node, but it's an Ansible master where Ansible is installed. From where this Ansible master is Ansible code is running, and it is working on different Ansible hosts, right? So here, what I'm going to run this command, Ansible playbook dash I inventory, then Ansible playground YML. That is my Ansible playbook name. So if I execute this, let's see what happens. There is actually one gather fact. This gathering fact. This task is by default executed. We can set it as no gather fact so that fact gathering will not be executed. Okay. Now we can see that it is talking about one change is done and task one and task two are executed. There is no failure. Now we'll be doing SSH to that IP address again. Let's see. I think this comment is there. Okay, SSH. By the way, let's see. We can see this content. Eh? I can see the content of this file. Oh, nothing is. Yes, I am from local system. You can see the content of this file, right? So this has been copied. So let me delete again. RM local. So now I'll be pushing this code on the GitHub. Select status and running through Jenkins. Okay. Okay. Here one more thing I have to do. Here one more thing I have to do. Here actually inside the playbook, sorry, inside the Jenkins pipeline, we have to provide the informations of the Ansible playbook, right? So that information we have to add. For that, we have to refer one URL. Let me go to that URL. So if you refer to this URL, that is, so you can see Jenkins Ansible, right? Here you can say how we can. First of all, we have to add one. This is see color. If you want to if you want to show this in a color format, the output. See here Ansible playbook. Yep. Okay, inside the steps, you have to add this method. I think this method you have to execute this method, which is Ansible Playbook, and for that you have to add one plugins to the Jenkins. So if you go to the Jenkins, manage Jenkins uh, plugins, available plugins. Not actually, I have already installed that, so you can see it. Ansible plugin. See, this Ansible plugin I have already Ansible plugin I have already installed. See, this is the Ansible plugin that you have to install here. So after the Ansible plugin has been installed, you have to restart. It's mandatory that you have to restart that Ansible. It's restart the Jenkins server. Then once that is done, then you have to use this format. So it is taking the Ansible playbook. Okay, Ansible name. There is another better way. I think it is there. This one. There's a pipeline support. In this portion, you have to come. There you can see this Ansible playbook. You have to provide the playbook name. You have to provide the inventory name. If any credential is needed, then you needed to uh, communicate to the remote host. In that case, you need to provide this thing, because here I do not need, because I have given the credentials inside the inventory file, right? So now what I'll do, I will be taking this information, taking this format, copying here and paste that into our code. So here, now we and parentheses after the parentheses. So I know that which one is my playbook and which one is my that one, right? We this is the using the relative path. Understand it? As I'm at the same location, so I think should be the file name will be enough for that. And inventory in is already there. Inventory spelling is correct. Inventory. So we are done. Now we are done. So again, I will git add start, git commit the same, added Ansible into pipeline script. Okay, that's you origin master. Okay, so it has been pushed now. So now we'll be running the pipeline. Which one is my Ansible? That's my code to this. Yeah. So we have already executed once. There I have executed only the sample pipeline. Now this time we'll be executing with the information, right? So here we have already checked that it is not there, right? This file is not there. Now we're running this pipeline using uh, which will be actually executing the Ansible payload, right? Task one is successfully done. Task two will be executed. These are end-to-end activities. You have to, how can you use all these things? You can see from this video. Okay, so last time we checked that if the task was done successfully or not. See, we have can see this file. So if we add all this file, local, You can see this. Local system. So that activity has been done. There are multiple modules of Ansible which you can use in this type of Ansible playbook, and it's make your life very easy. Like you want to update a lines inside a file. So in that case, if you use Unix any type of things, if the file is already there, it will be appending another line. If the file is not there, it will be adding one line. But if the file is there, but still you are again doing these activities, it should not change the state of this file, right? We are not going to add the same line again and again, but we will be executing the automation test case again and again. So in that case, line in file is one module of Ansible. It is very useful. I hope it was very helpful and you should be using this knowledge in your practical life. Also, one more request, please subscribe my channel because this type of video creations takes longer time. So your subscription make me motivate. Thank you.